and Susan Cingari here with the one and only five-time world boxing champion, Antonio Tarver, the Magic Man, hanging out at the gym here in Tampa. Antonio, talk to me a little bit about what's going on with you as far as you're training your son now. You must be so very proud of that.
I'm very proud of him, man. It's the biggest regret I ever had that I didn't let him go when he was younger, because I had to beat him off the bags every time he was in the gym with me. And I was so focused on where I was going, I didn't see the gift that was right in front of me. But yeah, God don't make any mistakes. He's on his own path right now. And I'm just so blessed and thrilled to be in his corner. You know, to be able to have my hands on him and, guide and direct him, because, I wish I had someone that was instrumental in my career. Looked after me, protected me, made sure that I was on the right track. I'm just thrilled to death at the possibilities, the future, and that's what it's all about. The future is it's for whomever grabs it and run with it, and he's grabbing it by the horn. He's taking off. He's back in the gym, as you can see. We just fought top prospect Thomas Hill, and we won a unanimous decision. He had him hurt in the third round, had him hurt in the seventh. A convincing, dominating, unanimous decision over a top prospect. So I think Junior showed to the world that he can fight, you know what I mean? And he just need opportunities, and that's what we're here for.
You mentioned a little bit earlier that you're so excited and proud to be in his corner. I'm curious to find out, as a father, but also as a coach, what emotions come up from you when you see him in the corner?
A lot of emotions. I mean, I'm in there with him, I'm in the ring with him. I'm fighting every step of the way with him. And when he come back to the corner, I mean, you just try to give him the best advice, from your experience and what you see. And he's been a real sponge for me. It seems like he's able to really take instructions and execute. So that's the mark of a good fighter. At least you can build on that. So and all I need is some building blocks. We can get there.
Well, he's got you in his corner, so we know he's going to be a winner. I also wanted to ask you, what are you specifically working on with him? Fundamentals, and what kind of stuff are you helping him to develop as his coach?
Most definitely the fundamentals. I mean, you can't go anywhere off on a weak foundation. So the fundamentals are everything. And I'm basically giving him all my experiences. That's what I can give Junior, all my experiences, because that's the only thing he lacks. That's the only thing he lacks. As far as talent, as far as ability, the sky's the limit. And that's what I'm trying to show the world, the boxing world, that he's a real gift. He's a real gift.
Now, you recently also volunteered to train Joshua. Let's talk a little bit about that as well.
Yeah, I mean, Anthony Joshua, former unified heavyweight champion. I just see some things in him that I know I can help him with, and I can assist him on. It's about how you prepare, for whatever that's in front of you. It's the preparation. When I look at that fight, and I'm not throwing nobody under the bus, but for Joshua to step in that ring less than 100%, his trainer failed him, his manager failed him, his promoter failed him. Everyone that's attached to that guy failed him, because they knew what they saw. They knew what he put in during those 6, 7, 8 weeks leading up to that fight. And if he was less than 100%, someone should have pulled him by the coattail, not the night of the fight, not after the fight, but before the fight. Because it's all about self-preservation, and you got to prevent things from happening. So I don't think they did. They didn't pay attention to detail. And that's one thing a great trainer always do. Pay attention to detail, no matter how minute they might be. It's important.
I would guess that there's probably people lining up at your door by now that say, I want Team Tarver to train me.
You know what? With the way I work, I like things to happen organically. I don't like to go looking for anything, because I want, my God to be involved. I'm not trying to train everybody, because everybody is not going to be able to retain what I'm trying to give them, but I can help all those guys, and they know it. I mean? I got the experience on every level, been successful on every level of the game, and I've been taught by the best. You don't last in this game. 20 some odd years, 20 years and counting. Not a scratch on me. And I take pride in
He's
that.
so pretty, isn't he?
No, I take pride in that. Never been cut.
Yeah. No, seriously.
How many fighters can say that? I've never been cut, amateur or pro, never been knocked out, never had my back on the mat. So I must be doing something right, because that's the end of all ends. At the end of the day, how healthy are you? Yeah. How healthy are you? Can you still communicate? That's the most important thing. Can you live a healthy, filled life after boxing? Ask that question. Do that survey.
And live it with dignity and class, which you're doing, which I think is really important. You know, you're branching out to other things. Speak of life after boxing, you also have a podcast. We should talk a little bit about that as well.
Yeah, In the Ring with Tarver and Jones. My good friend Alan Jones from Cleveland, Ohio, and voiceitradio.com. You can hear us every Monday from 4 to 6 as we break down and give you the real game of boxing. All the big fights and all the big faces in boxing have come on to In the Ring with Tarver and Jones and blessed us with their time, and we thank you.
And you're also going to be at the Pacquiao fight coming up, so we should talk a little bit about that. Interview some of the people there with the podcast.
Most definitely. In the Ring with Tarver and Jones. We'll be in Las Vegas, Nevada, on press row for the Manny Pacquiao-Keith Thurman championship fight. You don't want to miss it. It's the unification. 2 champions, man. In Las Vegas, it's going to be bananas. I can't wait to be there.
Who's your pick on that one, by the way?
I'm always going with my Florida boy, man. You know that.
I know.
It's South till we die, baby. I'm going with my man St. Pete, Keith Thurman. Now, it's going to be a tough fight. I see Keith been getting hit lately. You know, he's been slow, not slowing down, but he's been getting hit more so than I've ever seen Keith Thurman get hit his last 2 fights. Pacquiao is one of those type of fighters, you don't want to let him hit you with his best shot. You know, Pacquiao's still dangerous puncher, So Keith Thurman, I know he's not taking Pacquiao light. He knows what this fight means to him. And I think you're going to see one of the best Keith Thurmans we've seen thus far.
Before we go today, I wanted to ask you, you have such a legendary boxing career. You know, you've been in so many different weight classes. You exhibit greatness in all levels, both professionally in the ring and out of the ring as well. Which fight, looking back on your storied, legendary career, is the fight that you're the most proud of?
Most proud of, I mean, I have to say No Excuses. The fight that really, cemented my legacy in boxing was when I knocked Roy Jones out, and I told the world, I told him and the world, what was your excuse tonight, Roy? And it basically just, solidified, like in a rematch, there's no excuses in a rematch. Everybody has the same amount of time to get ready. Everybody has the same should have the same focus in taking the fight deadly serious. So you saw Roy Jones at his best, and you saw me at my best.
Yeah.
And on that night, there was no question. And I was even man enough to give Roy Jones a 3rd opportunity right here in Tampa. And I came out on top and reclaimed my title. So I don't know if you can say I just had Roy Jones' number. I don't know if you can say that.
I don't think so.
Because when we were 13 years old, we fought, and the fight was just as competitive as you've seen any of our fights. So, sometime when the proof is in the pudding, you just got to accept it. And that's one thing I just don't think the boxing world will ever accept.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. But what do they expect me to do?
Yeah.
What do they expect me to do? I mean, come on. I mean, yeah, Roy was a great fighter and is a great fighter, legendary fighter. Yeah, he's all of those things. He just couldn't beat me. He just couldn't beat me, period.